Well, hello there. It's Monday, so it's time for Book Talks. This is our first of the summer edition. Snuck in here to the library real quick to take care of some things that I left undone on Friday and throw a little bit of Book Talks at you. Remember, May is still Mental Health Awareness Month. This book is called Calvin by Leavitt, and it is about a boy who was born on the day that the last Calvin and Hobbes strip was published. And he is recently been diagnosed with schizophrenia because he started hallucinating Hobbes, the tiger character from Calvin and Hobbes. He sees him, he hears him talking to him, he talks back to him, he has some other things that are happening that he is not quite sure if these things are real or not. So he decides that he and his friend Susie, who he's not quite sure if Susie's really there or not, that they're going to walk across frozen Lake Erie, and in hopes that Bill Watterson, the creator of Calvin Hobbes, will be waiting on the other side. In Calvin's mind, he believes that if Bill Watterson will just write one more strip in which Calvin is a teenager without Hobbes, that he will be cured, that he will no longer be mentally ill. Well, it's a very short book. I'm not going to tell you what happens in the end, so that way if you're interested you can find it out for yourself. If you want to read this, we have it here at our library, so you can pick it up in August. I would also recommend, either alongside or before reading the book, that you read some Calvin and Hobbes. Okay? We have 4 different Calvin and Hobbes collections here at the library. It is an older comic, but definitely still relevant. A lot of the things that they discuss in these strips are not there. It's not that they're inappropriate for kids, it's just that there's a lot more going on than just a child and his stuffed tiger going on adventures. There's a lot of stuff happening in these books, philosophical wise, and life lessons and stuff like that. But I really enjoyed them as a child, and I still enjoyed them as an adult as well. The other books that I read were on my phone. This book I've been reading for a little over a week. I would have definitely finished this faster if I hadn't had so many other things going on this week. Some of you know what I've been dealing with this week. But this book, it's for adults. Probably won't be getting it for our library here, but if you're interested, I checked it out from Reads. We've talked about this before, free ebooks and audiobooks from your public library. I just returned it to Reads, so it's available for people that want to check it out. If someone else has already checked it out, you'll have to put it on hold, but it was definitely worth it. It also kind of fits in with the mental health awareness because it's set in the early 1800s during a time in which people were put away into asylums, and obviously they didn't have quite the knowledge of mental disorders that we do today, so they would toss you in there, and then some of the treatments that they would do to people, plunging them into cold ice water baths, leeches, things like that. Obviously we don't do those things today, but those were common practice back in the early days of treating mental health. Sometimes people were put into these asylums basically to get them out of the way. The beginning of this story, the setup is that there's a girl named Sue, and she lives with a woman who is called a baby farmer. Basically, she takes unwanted infants or orphaned infants and she farms them out. She gives them to people that can't have babies of their own, sells them to people that can't have babies of their own, or hires them out, whatever. Anyway, the main character, Sue, and she gets involved in this plot with this guy they refer to as Gentleman. She's going to go with Gentleman to this estate of this wealthy man, and she's going to be this lady's maid and help Gentleman trick her into getting married to him, and then they're going to go and put her in an insane asylum, and they're going to split or divide up her inheritance. Well, that's the way she thinks things are going to go. Very twisty book. One of the very few books that I have read where I totally did not see the twist coming. And there's more than just one twist. There's lots of things when I was just like, what just happened? Oh my gosh, I can't believe that this just happened in this book. So definitely it was intense. A lot of period details. I'm not going to tell you everything about it. If you want more information about it, you can always look it up on Amazon or Goodreads. Fingersmith is what it's called by Waters, but definitely would recommend it. for general reading. Okay. The other book I listened to, Invaded by Melissa Landers. It is the sequel to a book called Alienated. They have these in print. I know they at least have Alienated in print at the public library. You can also get them on reads in ebook or audiobook form. I really liked this book. The main premise of the series is that there are intelligent beings that are humanoid. They look like us, but they're a little bit more advanced, from a planet called Lair. And they're interested, and we are interested in forming an alliance with them because apparently our water supply is going to be totally gone in the next 10 years, and only they can help us. We got some technology from them, and we kind of messed up our water supply, but they can help us fix it, but it comes with some conditions. So there's a little bit of love story in there. There's a whole lot of conspiracy in there, but I would definitely recommend it if you like space, sci-fi, aliens, and stuff like that. It's not too outlandish, but it was really good. And I will leave you with this. I'm going to start some of my public library books next week. Get down to the public library and get that library card if you don't have one. You can also sign up for the summer reading program. They have one for birth to 12 years old, and they have a program for teenagers. And they also, teachers and parents, they have an adult program as well. So you can read, 8 books and turn it in and get an entry into their prize drawing. So not just the kids have a summer reading program to participate in. We do as well. So get on down there and read some books. Let us know what you think, and I'll see you next week.